What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're back with another top 5 video, and today we're going to be talking about players to build around if you're starting a franchise in MLB this show in 19. And today we're going to be talking about hitters in particular. I'll make a separate video about like starting pitchers, but today we're just going to be in general talking about hitters, and this will pertain to both offense and defense. The criteria for the list will be a lot of combination of a few things, whether that's team-friendly contracts. If they're 5-tool, pretty much everyone on the list is a 5-tool player. If not, whatever they lack, they certainly make up for in another category. Again, this is just my personal opinion. These are guys. I could have had a lot more guys, but I narrowed it down to 5. So let's just jump into it. Top 5 players to build your franchise around. And at number 5, we got Cody Bellinger of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And also, I need to point out, this also pertains to whether you're doing the actual team or you're doing fantasy draft franchise. It really doesn't matter. I'll give reasons for both as to take that player. But starting off with Bellinger, like I said, at number 5, he's got the power numbers. He's got the contact. 23 years old, 85 overall, 8 potential, 6'4", 200 pounds. He's a big boy, lefty, and a very underrated first baseman when it comes to defense. He's definitely someone you're not going to really go wrong with. Everyone on the list, really, you can't go wrong with, but if you're going young, he's definitely maybe the top guy. Maybe there may be 1 or 2 guys I would probably take ahead of him. But again, if you're doing fantasy draft franchise, it really just depends on where you get drawn to pick. But I mean, the guy's going to be a stud. The only downside to him is he's not really going to hit for probably a high average. But he is 23, so I think he will get a little better at that. But you should be able to count on 30 homers, 100 RBIs, and he can get you double-digit steals, which is something that's pretty rare on the first base position, especially these days. And probably the best thing about him is he only has a year of service time. So you still have 5 years of team control, and that is definitely a huge thing. And if you're taking the Dodgers, you already have a team around him, so you don't have to do too much rebuilding. Coming in at number 4, we got Alex Bregman. He's probably the most underrated guy on the list. Not a lot of guys talk about him, but he's one of my favorite players in the MLB, mainly because he reminds me of David Wright. He's kind of like that next generation version of him, but honestly, I think he could end up being better if he stays healthy. He's 25 years old, 89 overall, 8 potential on the game, 6 foot, 180 pounds. Like I said, righty. Reminds me a lot of David Wright. He does kind of everything. He can hit for contact. The power numbers are coming. Defensively, he's one of the better defensive third basemen. He can also play outfield pretty much anywhere in the infield too. I'm pretty sure he could even play second base if you had to have him play that. But, you know, he's going to get you probably cap around 20 stolen bases he could probably do. And like I said, he's only 25 years old, so he's only going to get better. Right now he's not really a 300 hitter, but I think he can get there. That would be the only thing Wright had on him when he first came up, is he was hitting 300, but he can be a 30 home run, 100 RBI guy. Don't know if he'll ever, like I said, get to that steal to be a 30, 100 guy, but I mean, only 2 years of MLB service time, so 4 years of team control. And again, if you're using the Astros, you already have a team around him. Can't go wrong with Bregman. At number 3 is the youngest player on the list, and probably a lot of guys' picks to be the top guy. I have 2 guys ahead of him. That's just because they're proven, and Acuna only had like the 1 year, but it is Ronald Acuna Jr., 21 years old, 91 overall already on the game, 8 potential. And, I mean, arguably, like I said, could be one of the best outfielders in the game already, except for maybe like one other player, and we'll get to him in a couple minutes. But again, he's already got the contact, and he's only 21 years old. The power numbers are there already too, and I think they're only going to get better. His one issue is probably his plate vision. His plate statistics could get a little better in terms of vision and, you know, discipline, but defensively, little room to grow as well. But I mean, it's just the offensive numbers are too good. and at only 21 years of age and only playing in 433 at-bats last year, he's not even a full year of service time. And probably the biggest thing is he's only making $575K, and you're going to have him for 6 years. So by the time you have to pay him, you're probably already going to have a team built around him if you go fantasy draft, or if you trade for him in your franchise, or if you start with the Braves. So you should have a team that can win by the time you have to pay him. Then you can decide if you want to keep him. And he'll only be 27 at that age, so you can't go wrong with Acuna. In at number 2, we got Nolan Arenado. Some people say he's the best player in the game. Other people think number 1 is. So I think I might have just spoiled number 1. But to me, he's the best third baseman in the game, especially defensively, and especially against lefties. I mean, he is the definition of a lefty killer. 99 contact, 99 power against lefties. Contact in the mid-70s. I think that can still get better. He's only 27 years old. He's already 99 overall in the game, a potential. And he's still under team control technically for 1 more year. We'll get to the contract details in a second. But, I mean, he does everything but steal bases. But you really don't need him to steal bases if he's going to average you close to 40 home runs and 120 RBIs every day, or every season rather, and then hit close to or a little above 300. And, of course, he's cut down on his strikeouts a lot, which is good. He doesn't strike out a lot for a slugger. That's something you definitely like. And like I said, he's under team control for 2 years, but they do have his new contract in the game already. Must have came with a new update. So he's under control for 8 years, $32.5 million. But even then, he's only going to be 35 when the contract is up. And you should have built a franchise-winning type team by then anyway. So then you can decide to get rid of him. And you can play with the Rockies. You have a team around him. You cannot go wrong with Nolan Arenado. And my number 1 pick, which is probably nobody's surprise, Mike Trout. Obviously, he's been the best player in the game for a while. Some think it's Mookie Betts. I left Mookie Betts off of this list, but he's probably would be my top honorable mention. He'd probably be number 6. But Mike Trout is the guy for me. He's the guy for a lot of people, and it's because he does everything, and he does everything amazing. He can hit for contact, he can hit for power, plays really good defense, can still steal bases. He doesn't steal as many as he used to, but he could probably get you 30, especially on the game, if you're running with him. But, I mean, you're going to get 35 homers, 100 RBIs. He's going to probably walk 100 times. He's cut down on his strikeouts a lot over the last 3 or 4 years. He's going to hit 300. I mean, you just cannot go wrong with Mike Trout. He's only 27 years old as well. 99 overall, a potential. Absolute stud. The one drawback of him that other people on this list don't have, he's only under contract for 2 more years. But in MLB The Show 19 this year, you can do contract extensions during the season. I think it's at spring training and the trade deadline. So the second year, you will probably have to extend him. But let's be honest, if you're taking Mike Trout in a fantasy draft or you're playing with the Angels, you're probably going to want to keep him long term anyway. So you're going to already have plans to lock him up. So just go ahead and do that. And I mean, you can't miss with Mike Trout. So with that said, guys, that is the list. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments who you want to build your team around. Let me know if you're doing fantasy draft franchise, who you picked with your first round pick. Love to hear from it. If this helped you out, guys, smash that like button. Be sure to subscribe for more top 5 videos like this and all the other things for more MLB The Show 19 coverage. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, peace.